Hi students! Today we are going to learn a new lesson and a new vocabulary. So let's start our vocabulary spelling doctor's equipment. Now let's continue with our vocabulary words. Remember that you have to. First you're going to listen. Then you're going to repeat the word. Okay, so let's start. Adhesive bandage. Adhesive bandage. Now, blanket. Blanket. Medicine. Medicine. Roller bandage. Roller bandage. Thermometer. Thermometer. And the last one, ointment. Ointment. Excellent. Good job. Now let's continue with our grammar. Possessive whose. Today in grammar, we are going to learn about possessive whose. Possessive whose. Whose is a pronoun. It is used to ask questions about who owns something or has something. In other words, we can say that whose is a possession. Let's see some examples. Whose medicine is this? Whose adhesive bandage is this? Whose ointment is this? If you can see, I applied whose. I'm asking who is this medicine belong to? Now, let's see some pictures so we can difference whose in plural and whose in singular. If we can see in the picture, we have an elegant woman and we have some gloves. So we are going to see an example of whose in plural. We can see the question, whose gloves are these? They're actress Kate's gloves. Now let's see an example of singular using whose. Let's look at the picture. We see a woman. It is a teacher. And we have a notebook, a math notebook. So the question is, whose notebook is this? It's teacher's Nora's notebook. I hope you have seen the difference between using whose in plural and using whose in singular. Now, let's look very carefully the difference between each one. Now, let's look at some examples using whose in singular. Let's focus on the picture. We can see a bag that belongs to Dr. Sig. Let's focus ourselves in the picture at number 1. We can see that he has in his bag one medicine. So the question is, whose medicine is this? And the answer is, it's Dr. Sig's medicine. When we ask a question in singular, At the end, we are going to use this. And when we answer the question, we are going to write it is, the job of the person, and the name. And then we are going to write the object. It's Dr. Sig's medicine. So this, we are going to use it in singular. It is or its, we are going to use it at singular too. Now let's look at some examples using whose and plural. Let's look at the back of Dr. Sig and focus on the picture and the number 2. So we can see in the picture that he has 2 blankets. So the question is, whose blankets are these? They're Dr. Sig's blankets. So you can see these, we are going to use it in plural. And they are or their, we are going to use it in plural too. I hope that you have seen the difference and memorized that when we are talking in singular, we are going to use the word THIS, this, at the end of the question. And at the beginning of the question, when we are going to answer, we are going to write its. Now, in the version of the plural, we are going to use at the end of the question, we are going to use THESE, this. And at the beginning of answering the question, we are going to use they are. So I hope that you have noticed the difference between each one. And remember to practice asking questions about whose belongings are these. In the worksheet that we are going to work on this week, you're going to repeat only one time each word. Do it in a pyramid. For example, you're going to write the first letter and pronounce it. This is the purpose of this exercise. So you can pronounce each letter, and at the end, you can pronounce the vocabulary word. For example, in the first line, you're going to write A. In the second line, you're going to write AP. And in the third line, you're going to write APP. Then, in the next one, APPL. And at the end, you're going to write all the word, APPLE, and pronounce the word, apple. So let's learn the new vocabulary, and in this part, you're going to practice each letter of the alphabet words. In the next exercise, you're going to practice of using possessive whose. So you have to look at the picture and watch each character because they have objects. So let's follow the example. It says, whose books are these? Because he is using a plural, we are going to answer, they are Alice's books. So you have to be very careful. Look at each character. What are their possessions? And let's practice using possessive whose. Remember, if you have any doubts of this topic, we are going to have a Zoom class. And remember, subscribe to our page and give this video a like. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.